after.
Can you hear now?
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. If you could please keep your microphones on mute until everyone's audio is connected. Thank you. All right, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Judge Blake Adams. You're here for small claims pretrial conferences. The purpose of a pretrial conference is to determine where the case is, as in, is it ready to be set for trial? Do I need to send you to a mediator to try to reach a resolution? Or perhaps a motion has been filed whether a hearing needs to be set. So the way I'm going to call on the cases is by the lowest case number first. And if one of the parties isn't here, we'll skip it and recall it because we often have late additions to our Zoom hearings due to technical difficulties. All right, so the first case I'm going to call is Classic Diamond Plumbing Incorporated v. Greg Derrico, I believe. Do I have anyone present from Classic Diamond Plumbing? All right, if you could unmute your microphone.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right, who do I have from Classic Diamond Plumbing?
The owner, which is Alvino Huerta, and myself, Melissa Alt, the office manager.
All right, good afternoon. All right, and do I have, excuse me, Greg Derrico present? We have a couple people on the phone who don't have names listed. Let me find out who you are. Let me ask 239-295-8000. Who do I have on the line there? Hello?
Hi, my name's Josue Sanchez. I'm on a different case.
All right, and what was your name again?
Josue Sanchez.
Thank you. All right, and let me go to person whose phone number is 612-751-2737. Can you tell me who I have on the line? Person on the telephone, 612-751. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, can you tell me your name?
Stafford Kaplan.
All right, thank you. All right, it does not appear that Greg Derrico is present. Let me, we're gonna, Ms. Alt and Mr. Huerta, we're gonna recall your case, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, let me go to Paul Thompson v. Marco Yacht Sales, LLC, 20 SC 1510.
Present, Judge.
All right, I see Mr. Thompson is present. Do I have anyone from Marco Yacht Sales present? All right, it does not.
I'm here. Chris Stahl's present. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. All right, Mr. Stalls, what's your relationship with Marco Yacht Sales?
CEO.
All right, thank you. All right, give me one moment here. All right, Let me start with you, Mr. Thompson. Since you're the plaintiff, have you had an opportunity to try to reach a settlement agreement in this case?
Yes, I have, Judge Adams.
Okay. And has that been unsuccessful to date?
Unsuccessful to date.
Okay. Mr. Stalls, let me ask you, since you're the defendant, would you like an opportunity to meet with a mediator to try to resolve this case?
Yeah, there's nothing to resolve. You can't come back after you've had service provided 4 days later and claim you've had damage.
Okay. So
He's already tried to pin it on the marina, and they denied it. They showed him a video that there was no damage, and I don't have time for this. I'm trying to keep my business glued together through the pandemic. I've got employee problems, and this kind of stuff is just burning my time.
All right. So, Mr. Stalls, you want me to go ahead and set it for trial?
Yes, we need to go to trial.
All right. Mr. Thompson, you would agree?
Yes, I do.
All right. Okay. I'll issue an order later today setting this case for trial. Let me get an email address from you, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, it's Captain, C-A-P-T, then my first initial, Paul, and
Okay.
then Thompson, C-A-P-T-P, Thompson @hotmail.com.
All right. And Mr. Stahl, do you have an email address?
Yes, it's Chris, C-H-R-I-S,
Okay.
@marcoyachtsales.com.
All right. Very good. We'll get that order out setting that case for non-jury trial. Let me just look at my calendar here so I can give you kind of an idea when we'll probably set that. My next small claims non-jury trial docket is Wednesday, March 24th.
That's fine.
All right.
It's good.
Okay. All right. And any evidence that you may have, such as videos, contracts, photographs, will need to be filed with the clerk at least 5 days prior to the trial, and copies transmitted to opposing party. Any questions about that?
Yes, the clerk's email.
I don't know. You'll have to call the Collier County clerk for that, because I'm not sure who that needs to go to there.
Okay.
Okay, and I don't have a clerk for today's pretrial conference.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, any other questions?
No.
I'm good.
Okay, all right, thank you. We'll see you both back March 24th.
Good.
All right. The next case I'm going to call is Freddie Gomez v. Everlasting Inc., doing business as Everlast Fence Service, case number 20 SC 1694. And do I have Mr. Gomez present? We had another phone line join us earlier. Let me ask, who do I have on the line on 630-675-4998? Person on the phone line, 630-675-4998. Can you hear me? To unmute your phone. Oh, there we go. All right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Are you looking for, I've got case number 20SC1481. Am I jumping in here at the appropriate time, or are we on a different case?
Can you tell me your name?
Last name is Derrico, D-E-R-R-I-C-O. First name is Greg.
All right, thank you, Mr. Derrico. We're not on your case yet, but we'll come back to it.
Okay, I was just following the prompt that said, the prompt told me to unmute, so
Well,
I'll just sit here and wait. Is that what I
okay.
do, or what do I?
Yes, yes. I'll recall
Okay.
your case. Thank you. All right. Do I have anybody here from Everlasting Inc.? Don't see anyone raising their hand. Okay, we'll recall it. All right, let me go back to Classic Diamond Plumbing Incorporated v. Greg Dorico. And I've got Ms. Alt and Mr. Puerta from Classic Diamond Plumbing, and then I have Mr. Dorico present. All right, there we go. Okay. Ms. Alt, since you're the plaintiff, let me ask you, have you had an opportunity to try to discuss a settlement agreement with Mr. Dorico?
Yes, Your Honor. We did previously try to make an arrangement with him and gave him ample time to respond. At the time that we made the offer, he did not make moves to agree to our settlement. And so after that time is when we actually filed the small claim. So we tried everything prior to. This was our last ditch effort.
Okay. Mr. Dorico, let me ask you, do you think it would be helpful if I sent you to mediation to try to mediate this prior to going to the lengths of having the trial?
I would not be opposed to that. For the record, I would like to let it be known that we did respond multiple times, both before and after this was taken up by the court or small claims court claim was made, where we were, for the sake of settlement, I had agreed to split the disputed amount multiple times.
Let me stop you, Mr. Dorico. Mr. Dorico, let me stop you. I can't be involved in settlement negotiations, so you can't tell me about your settlement negotiations pursuant to Florida statute, okay? All right. So, Ms. Alt, let me come back to you. Mr. Dorico seems to indicate that he thinks going to a mediator might resolve this case. Do you want to give that a try before we set this for trial?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, we do not. We are past the point of that. We've spent way too much money. We do not want to mediate. We would like payment in full.
Okay. You understand that all evidence that you may have for trial needs to be submitted to the court within 5 days prior to the trial date, as well as transmitted to the defendant.
Yes,
Mr. Dorico, any evidence that you may have, same thing. You also need to file your witness list if you intend on calling witnesses and transmit that to opposing sides. Give me one moment here. Sorry, I'm just looking at my court schedule. All right, looks like I've got plenty of space on March 24th to add you to that docket. March 24th for non-jury trial. Ms. Alt, what is the best email address for the plaintiffs?
It would be Melissa with 2 L's and 2 S's. So MELISSA at the full business name, Classic Diamond Plumbing.com.
Okay. And Mr. DeRico, do you have an email address?
I do. That would be Holmes, Homes, at Derrico, Derrico, custom, Custom, Homes, Homes.com.
All right, perfect. All right, you'll both receive an order from the court setting the trial for March 24th. That's non-jury trial, March 24th, and it'll be via Zoom also, so make sure that you get any evidence that you have submitted to the clerk for filing at least 5 days prior to trial. Any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Is that, so if I heard you correctly, this is not an in-person, this is by telephone again?
It'll be via video. Trial has to be by video.
Okay. And if there's any questions about that, we don't take those up with you. We talk to someone at the county court management side.
As far as questions regarding.
Yeah, regarding that the communication.
I don't understand.
In other words, if I'm not set up and don't want to participate in a Zoom meeting or court case, what are the options?
Well, I can't give you legal advice, and that would be considered legal advice because we're under orders by the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court to conduct all civil cases via Zoom or video conferencing at this time because of the pandemic.
Okay, and if I choose to use an attorney, there's no regulation or other ordinance stopping me from doing that, or
oh no,
is it permitted?
You are more than welcome to hire an attorney. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. All right. And everything I'm going to receive via email will be all I need to know going forward if I was to undertake that direction, hiring an attorney. In other words, I'll get everything I need to hand to somebody else that's going to represent me, right?
Well, I don't really know how to answer that question. What you're going to receive from the court is the order setting the case for a hearing, which will have the Zoom codes and the date and time.
And that would be all I need to take action with legal representation.
Yeah, whoever you hire as an attorney you can provide them with that, as well as any documents you may have received when you received service, and they can pull the case file from the clerk. Okay.
All right, very good. And
Okay.
how soon should I receive the email?
You should receive it sometime, I would say this afternoon or this evening. If you don't see it in your inbox, make sure to check your junk or spam folder.
All right, will do. Thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you both. We'll see you back on March 24th.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, let's go to Josue Sanchez v. Alejandro Arango, case number 20 SC 1699.
Yes, good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sanchez. All right, and do I have Mr. Arango present?
I'm Mr. Arango.
Oh, Mr. Arango, sorry about that. Do I have Mr. Sanchez present? He was on the line.
Yes, I'm on, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, this is case number 20 SC 1699. All right, Mr. Sanchez, you're the plaintiff in this case. Let me ask you, have you had an opportunity to try to reach any type of settlement agreement with Mr. Arango?
Yes, we have attempted to do so. We gave ample time as well. We did not hear back, and basically a refusal to cooperate and pay. So we are here, unfortunately, because we would like to come to an agreement, or at least I would.
Okay. Mr. Arango, it sounds like Mr. Sanchez would be willing to try to reach some type of agreement with you. Do you think going in front of a mediator might be helpful in trying to resolve this case?
Sir, I can manage to do payments, but I can't pay the full amount that he's asking me for at the moment because I am currently unemployed.
Okay.
So if he comes to an agreement with me of an amount that I can give him monthly, I'm willing to do so.
All right. So it sounds like you both agree that maybe going in front of a mediator to try to reach some type of agreement would be helpful.
Yeah.
Mr. Sanchez, you agree with that?
I would be more than willing to agree with that. The only concern that I have is if mediation does not, if per se, let's say they do not cooperate beyond mediation, what would be the next steps? Would that be setting a jury trial? Not a jury trial, but a non-jury trial?
Let me see. Can you ask me the question again?
So my only concern is because, I mean, I've given a year to work something out, and I've previously contacted them. So my concern is whether if we go to mediation at this time, will that cause any issues if they go ahead and agree to something in mediation and not go through with it? What would happen then?
If someone breaks a settlement agreement, you have the ability to enforce the final judgment, to request a final judgment from the court.
Okay, I wasn't 100% on that, so I just wanted to be advised. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm willing to mediate with them.
Okay. All right. Now, here, let me just tell you this. I know that our mediation department is really backed up right now, and I requested a mediation date earlier today, and I was given April 9th. So we're looking at about 5 to 6 weeks out. Is that a problem for anyone? I can't really do anything about it because I'm subject to limited mediator availability.
It's okay with me.
Mr. Sanchez?
Yeah, I've waited this long, no problem. I
Okay.
mean, and as far as for mediating, if you would like to reach out to me ahead of time, that is perfectly fine as well, but I think we'll go through the court.
Yeah, there's nothing, stopping the two of you from, where, I mean, if Mr. Arango's in agreement to make payments and you're in agreement to accept payments, you can always reach a settlement agreement. I would advise that you put that in writing and file it with the court. That way, if the agreement is broken, then Mr. Sanchez, you would have a way to resolve that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to issue an order this afternoon setting your case for, it'll be called another pretrial conference, but it's with a mediator. Like I said, it'll likely be sometime in April. Those typically happen on a Friday. And that order will, you'll have Zoom codes for that, which you can appear via video or telephonically for that. Mr. Sanchez, do you have an email address that I could have from you?
Yes, JOSU3 Sanchez@gmail.com.
Thank you. Mr. Arango, do you have a email address that we could have?
Yes, sir. Arango Alejandro 199225@gmail.com.
And is your last name spelled Arango?
NGO, yes, sir.
Okay. Arango Alejandro 1992@gmail.com.
1992-25, like 1992-25.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for me?
No, Judge, I'm good. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Thank you, Mr. Arango. Have a good day.
You as well.
You
Thank
too.
you. All right, next let me call on Stafford Kaplan v. Scott Sorensen, case number 20 SC 1706. Let's see, Mr. Kaplan. Mr. Kaplan, you'll have to unmute your device.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay.
And do I have Scott Sorensen present? Don't think so. Give me one moment. It's 2 o'clock. I'm checking the court file to make sure that the notice of hearing was not returned. Looks like service was proper. I don't see a copy of the, I don't see that the notice was returned. Give me a moment to look at the statement of claim. All right, I don't see any evidence attached to the statement of claim. I'm gonna, at this time, I'm gonna declare Mr. Sorensen in default for failing to appear. And Mr. Kaplan, I'm gonna send out an order setting this case for an evidentiary hearing. You'll need to provide the court with any evidence, physical or evidence or testimonial evidence that you may have regarding this case in order for the court to award an amount of judgment. Mr. Kaplan, do you have an email address?
Yes, capstaff@aol.com.
Is that with 2 F's?
1 F. KAPSTAF@aol.com.
Okay. Any questions about what the court has just ruled?
Not exactly. I did have a sent to me that the sheriff went out and had him, verified the case was going to be.
Right, I do see the return of summons. I do see that he was personally served.
Okay.
Okay. And yeah, so I do see that. That's why I'm declaring Mr. Sorensen in default. So you'll receive an order later today, which will set this case for an evidentiary hearing where you'll have to provide the court with your evidence and testimony regarding the amount that's in dispute.
Okay. I did process some of that I thought you already had, but I guess.
I don't see anything in the court file.
Okay.
I do see the statement of claim, but I don't see anything attached to it.
Okay. For the claim, what is presented, the reason why, that's what you have.
I see I see the statement.
Yeah.
However, I don't see like you've got a check number listed. So the,
Okay.
okay.
So I'll just send more information, I guess, that I have.
All right. Pay attention to the order that I send out because it'll provide you with some more detailed information as to how to proceed.
Okay, appreciate the time.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Kaplan. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Okay. All right, let me go to Amanda Neiman v. Shane Wheat.
Yes, I'm here, Your Honor.
All right, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, it's Amanda Neiman and Shane Wheat.
All right, case number 20 SC 1809. Do I have Mr. Wheat present? Doesn't appear that I do. Or give me a moment to take a look at the court file.
All right.
All right, and Ms. Neiman, you're seeking a claim of $3,550.
Yeah, except that has been slightly adjusted because the lease has expired at this point. So there is an adjusted amount that I'm seeking now of $3,380, which are a couple of the fees that he would have paid to come off of the lease.
So he's already paid those?
Well, because the lease expired, they no longer apply.
Okay, so it's 3,380.
Yep.
All right, give me a moment to review your statement of claim.
Okay.
Are you seeking any costs?
I'm seeking half of the rent that was owed to me for July through October, plus the court filing fees, the service fees, and the return check fee because his check bounced.
Okay, so the court filing, you're including, all right, I see the breakdown here. All right, so what is the amount you're seeking separate of the court filing fee and the sheriff's?
Yep, that's $3,018.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so you've got a lot of attachments to your statement of claim, which is,
Yeah, so the big document on there is the actual copy of the lease that he was added to,
okay.
showing
Do you
that he was
direct-
added to the lease. That's why.
Do you know which page that's on?
It would be the addendum to the lease, which I believe is the last page of it,
Okay.
showing that he was added to the lease. It's called the change of parties to lease amendment,
Okay.
and I believe it would have been after. I don't have a copy of the actual lease, I just have that in front of me.
Okay, I've got it all. All right. I'm going to find the defendant in default for failing to appear. I'm going to award amount of $3,018 in principal to the plaintiff. And $362 in costs, with interest to adjust per statutory rate. And Ms. Neiman, would you like for me to include in the final judgment that the defendant be required to complete a fact information form and provide that to you within 45 days so that you may determine where or if he has any assets or income?
Yes, that would be great, Your Honor.
All right, any questions, Ms. Neiman?
No, I don't, not at this time, Your Honor.
Oh, you know what? Let me get an email address from you.
Sure.
Go ahead.
It's it's A, my last name, NIEMANN 21@gmail.com.
A, last name, 21@gmail.com.
Correct.
Okay. All right, perfect. You'll receive a copy of that order later today or by first thing in the morning.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Neiman. Have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. The next case I have is James Chamberlain v. Marks Electric, LLC.
Hi, Judge. I am here. Randy Marks, representing Marks Electric.
Okay, thank you. And do I have James Chamberlain present? All right, give me a moment to pull up that case, Mr. Marks.
Okay.
Mr. Marks, what's your relationship with Marks Electric?
I'm the owner.
Okay. All right, I do see that the notice was mailed to Mr. Chamberlain back in January. I don't see that it has returned. Give me one moment. All right, based on the plaintiff's failure to appear, I'm going to dismiss the case.
Okay.
All right, thank you for your patience today, Mr. Marks.
Do you need an email address?
Oh, yes, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Okay, it's ours and Randy, period, Marks, M-A-R-K-S, at yahoo.com.
r.mark@yahoo.com.
Marks, M-A-R-K-S.
M-A-R-K-S, thank you. Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Marks.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye. All right, next case I have is Paula Malone v. Hilton Moving and Storage LLC, excuse me, 20 SC 1944. I think I see we've got Ms. Malone present. Good afternoon. And do I have anyone from Hilton Moving and Storage LLC?
Yes, sir. Kelly Kimwagi.
Good afternoon. And what is your relationship with the defendant?
I am the administrative manager for Hilton Moving and Storage.
Administrative manager?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And did you receive permission from one of the managing members to be present representing the corporation today?
Yes, sir. The owner, Michael Hilton, and our accountant, Edward Ola.
Okay. All right. Ms. Malone, let me go to you. As the plaintiff, have you had an opportunity to try to reach any type of agreement with the defendant?
Yes, I personally went there and met with Mr. Hilton.
Okay. Were you able to come to an agreement?
No.
All right. Do you think meeting with a mediator might be able to improve your chance of reaching an agreement?
I would be willing to try that.
All right. Ms. Kimlagi, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Kimlagi, do you think the corporation would be willing to meet with a mediator to try to resolve this dispute?
Can I speak? No, we didn't do anything wrong, Your Honor. So Mr. Hilton is not, there's no mediating. We didn't do anything. In the police report, it states everything very clearly. As far as we had nothing to do with her table leaf gone missing. There's nothing. We didn't do anything wrong. And
all right.
so
it sounds like the corporation wants to just go ahead and set it for trial.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Kimlagi, if you're going to represent the corporation at the trial, a managing member of the LLC will need to file something with the court stating that.
Okay. Just stating that I will be representing Hilton Moving and Storage. That needs to be arrive at the Collier County Clerk's of Court. Is that
correct? That's correct. All right. It'll need to it'll need to be signed by a managing member. It'll need to state what your position is with the company.
okay? So the owner, Michael Hilton, can write a letter regarding me representing Hilton Moving and Storage in this matter. When does it need to be there, Your Honor?
It will need to be submitted at least 5 days prior to trial. We're going to go ahead and set this case for trial for March 24th. It'll be via Zoom video again. Each side will need to have all of their evidence filed with the court at least 5 days prior to trial and transmitted to the opposing party.
And Your Honor,
Yes.
may I also add $310 as costs to me because of this to the $5,136, which I am presently asking for. So the total amount would be,
in your statement of claim, did you include that you were seeking costs?
no, I didn't know that I could. I just heard you allow someone else to do that.
Give me one moment. I'll have to pull up the sort of small claims rules to see if it's too late. I think it's too late. All right, it's not too late. You can file a motion requesting costs. It has to be filed no later than 30 days after the filing of the judgment, or obviously right now it's not, or you can file it before the judgment, okay?
I could file it right now.
You can file it now, yes. Okay. All right. Let's see. If either side intends to call any witnesses, you'll need to file a witness exhibit list that lists who you intend to call as a witness and transmit that to the opposing side.
Your Honor, how do you transmit that to the opposing side? Does that mean Mrs. Malone, I have to give this to Mrs. Malone as well, or just the court?
No, that means you have to give it to the plaintiff also.
Okay, via email?
It can be email or mail.
Okay.
Email or mail.
Got it.
Okay. Any other questions so far?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. All right, so March 24th. All right, Ms. Malone, let me get an email address from you.
PJM, that's Papa Juliet Mike Wings, WINGS, @AOL.com. And do I send this request for costs added to the court, or to whom do I send it? The clerk of court?
You would file that with the Collier County Clerk of Courts and make sure to include your case number on it. All right, and that's who you would also send copies of any physical evidence or witness list to the Collier County Clerk of Court. And then to also the opposing, so in this case, in your case, Ms. Malone, to the defendant, and in the defendant's case to the plaintiff. Okay.
And may I have the defendant's email, please?
Yes, Ms. Kemlagi, could we get your email address?
Surely, info at Hilton, HILTON MOVERS, HiltonMovers.com.
That was info@hiltonmovers.com.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, any questions? Any other questions?
Would you confirm that date for me, please?
Yes, March 24th. I don't have a time for you yet. I won't have that until I talk to my judicial assistant.
Okay.
Would we be getting a letter like we did last time with the meeting ID to Zoom in and for all of our witnesses to be able to do that as well? Will that be coming? Okay.
Correct. That order will have all of the Zoom code information for that date.
For the witnesses too, if we have any.
Correct.
Or is it all-
They'll be able to use the same Zoom code and password.
Okay, fantastic.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Ms. Malone. Thank you, Ms. Kemlagi. We'll see you back on the 24th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Say, Judge Adams,
Yes.
this is Paul Thompson, and I was wondering on March 24th if I could request an early meeting or trial.
So like a morning time.
Yes, please.
Let me look at my docket for that day. Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. It looks like the only one I have on the docket right now is at 1:30, so I could do 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock would be perfect.
Okay, I'll go ahead and make a note to set yours at 9.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, that concludes today's small claims pretrial conference docket.